No, I'm not. I wasn't. Don't misunderstand me. And I wasn't saying those things do not constitute dawah and they cannot be part of dawah. But my emphasis is primarily when you read the Quran and you look at the stories of the prophets, you find that the dawah of the prophets is there talking and discussing with people. It's through speech. Of course, their example matched their speech. But they were not content with walking around just being nice people. They engaged people in discussions, in intellectual arguments, in the best way to convince people that what they were believing was wrong and that what they had bought was the truth. So, it's too big a topic really to discuss the details of how we can give dawah, but very simply, brothers and sisters, it's very simple. The important principle to realize is you should always go back to the fundamentals. So part of the problem often we have when on the issue of dawah, especially to non-Muslims, is we can get carried away discussing things that are very subsidiary. So you may have a long discussion on hijab, or maybe with Chinese people, a lot of them love to eat pork. So you'll have a long discussion about pork and it has this disease and that disease, and it's a very, very weak form of discussion. Even from an intellectual angle, it's very weak. I'll tell you why. Say for example, just for the sake of argument, I said, okay, so we can now breed a pig that is completely free of disease, and I can prove to you scientifically, not only is it free of disease, but actually we've designed the pig in a special way that it can retain antibiotics and vitamins to make you better. Is it halal? No. So why is pig haram? Well, everyone, I know you know the answer, Sheikh. They're all looking at me like, I thought that was the reason it was haram. The reason it's haram, as the Sheikh said, is because Allah said it's haram. So this is what everything goes back to. Yes, of course we believe there is a reason and a wisdom for everything. But the bottom line is, brothers and sisters, we do something because Allah has told us to do it. We leave something because Allah has told us to leave it. So we need to go back to the basics. We need to make people who are not Muslim, and by the way, many Muslims need to understand this principle. The principle is that we worship Allah and we obey Allah. So we need to convince people that Allah is the one that we should obey, and He is the one who we should worship alone, and that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His prophet and that we should follow him. So this is the methodology of dawah that we teach. So rather than going into the details of that, you could, for example, go to a website called Mission Dawah, I think missiondawah.com, and you will find some videos discussing this method and how to bring people back to the conversation about Allah, the oneness of Allah, revelation, prophethood, and this is the foundation of our dawah. Even, by the way, to many Muslims, they need to hear this as well. So that's really what I would say, rather than going into all the details, which is, I don't have time. Go and inshallah look there, you will find some good guidance on that, inshallah.